The reason why it's really important to address videos like this is because people who have had these belief systems have dominated the education system for centuries. They've been able to whitewash history. They've been able to bend and twist history to meet their narrative. A history that says white people created everything and everyone else was living quite a primitive life. And if it weren't for colonization and slavery, then we would have been lost. And we really need to bust these myths. So watch me mash her up now. The first thing they claim in this video is that Britain gave the world education. This is absolutely outrageous and it's not true. One, because the British don't even have their own script. English is Latin and the numbers we use are Arabic. So you don't even have the most basic thing you need in education, which is a language. The second thing to note is that before foreign or outside intervention, British people could not read. So between the 5th and maybe 14th century, 90% of Britain was illiterate. Only 10% of the British could read, and those people were the elite, the ruling class, and they were usually religious people. So now that we know how dunce people were in Britain, let's take our eyes off Britain and let's look at what pre-colonial Africa was like before the British arrived. So we know that Timbuktu in Mali was an intellectual hub and was a centre for Islamic scholarship. We know that the Benin Kingdom had some of the most skilled craftsmen in the world at the time. We know that Ethiopians built the first 3-story buildings and they had their own coin system. So Ethiopians were trading in coins when the British were still trading in carrots. India was obviously the leading country when it came to mathematics. So then they move on to talk about sanitation, which is absolutely outrageous because we know that the Dark Ages were called the Dark Age for a reason. Europe was incredibly unhygienic. Even their medical practices were questionable. However, it was North Africans that had to bring soap to Europe because Europeans didn't use soap. We know that the Black Plague spread through Europe for a reason and it cost millions of people their lives. In fact, sewage systems weren't even created by British people, it's created by Iraqis. Now, if you want to talk about the Industrial Revolution, then yeah, you have a point in saying that the Industrial Revolution gave birth to steam engines,